Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. The Rock the Ripple podcast with Narita McInnes.
Let's do this. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast. I'm your host, Narita McInnes. It is awesome to be here with you as always. And today I'm going to dive straight into the sticky note that we're going to jam on for today. And like always, who knows where it's going to take us, but we'll start with the sticky note and see what happens from there. And today it reads, maybe you've heard of the question, how are you really? Which is an awesome question, absolutely awesome question. And I have another question that I feel is just as cool to ask yourself, and that is, who am I really? So two very powerful questions today, and I think I'll focus maybe on the one that says, who am I really? Because really, who are you? Who are you at the essence of it all? You know, we're not just our name, we're not just the body that we're in, we're not our job title, we're not, you know, all these different things. Who are you at the essence of it all? And for me, the way that I see it is that we are source experiencing itself. We are consciousness experiencing itself and playing on this playground of earth that can sometimes be a lot of fun and exciting, and that can sometimes also be very heavy, dense, and can feel like you are processing a lot. And ultimately, we're energy. We're energy, and we are atoms and particles that basically they don't touch together. And I am not a scientist, but this is what I've learned, is that everything, even the desk that, you know, you might be sitting in front of you right now, or a rock or a brick, there are particles in there, but they're not touching each other. They're all still moving. Yes, it's very dense, but everything is still always alive and moving. And like Nikola Tesla says, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. And that is what we basically live in, a world where everything vibrates, everything has a frequency, and it is all energy. And it creates what it is that we see in the world. We are part of that. And so I think I've done this before, but if you imagine, I always do this one where you imagine the fist. And for those listening that can't see me, I'm holding a fist, and then you lift one finger, and that's me having my experience here on the planet. Then you lift another finger, that's you. My thumb's poking out as well, that's someone else. And you just lift it up, and everything is ultimately connected, but we're all having our individual experiences. That's why when people say, when you do something to someone else, you're doing it to the whole, that is true, because we're all connected. So everything affects everything. That's why the ripple, rock the ripple, that is why the ripple, you never know how far that's going to go when you do the smallest random acts of kindness, for example. You just don't know. And I've said this before, but I love this kind of story because it illustrates it so well. And that is, you go into a shop one day, you go to the counter, and the grocery chick or guy behind the counter is having a shitty day. You smile, you have a joke with them, and all of a sudden their day turns around. They think they were feeling crappy before, but now they feel good. And now when the next person comes in and they serve that person at the counter, they bring that joy to them. And that person might have been having a shitty day that they just served. And then they start to have a better day. And then they bring that outwardly. Maybe they were a teacher and they were going to school that day, and they bring that joy to the classroom, and the kids are having the time of their life. And then one of the kids just has this brilliant idea because he's in such a state of having a good time that he then creates something that goes onto YouTube and then just spreads far and wide. And it just reaches the people it needs it to reach, which is incredible. You don't know what one little random act of kindness, how far that can ripple out. And that's the beauty of us experiencing ourselves and living life and doing what we do is because we don't know how that will affect people. And ultimately, that's why when we're thinking about who am I really, I mean, it's huge. It's so expansive. Some people would say a great way to describe is we're infinity. We're infinity experiencing itself. Some people would say we're God experiencing itself. Some people would say something else, obviously, because we're all different as well. We're all individual people having an experience, a unique experience together, a unique experience being us. Like, there are billions of people on this planet, and not one single person will ever think exactly the same way you do. I heard someone say that the other day. It was awesome because it's so true. You might have similar thoughts, similar ideas around stuff, but ultimately, how you think and how you show up is always going to be unique to you. And that is what is so special about you. That's your gift. The gift of you, of being exactly who you are. I mean, you're bloody amazing. There is no one in the whole planet, universe, or infinity that is like you. Even if they did clone you, it still wouldn't be you at your essence. It might be very similar, going down the clone rabbit hole now, but seriously, it can still only ever be you at the core. And that is what's so amazing about you and this experience of life, is because we all have our own gifts, our own unique perspectives to bring to the table of life. We're all a puzzle in the giant tapestry, the giant puzzle of life, the giant puzzle of the multiverse, the universe, the all that is, which is just humongous. And so when we think about who am I mean, far out. It's huge. You're everything and nothing. You're the drop of the ocean and you're the ocean. You're the artist and the brush. You're the all that is. You're everything that ever was, is, or will be. And right now you are a beam of who you are, experiencing life through your eyes and in the only way that you can. You, my friend, are very powerful. You are amazing. And who you are really at the core is love. You are love. You are love and you are beauty. And you're infinite. And you're so special. And yeah, it's really big when you think about it, isn't it? I get very excited. There's so many different ways that we can look at life. We can see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, and we can put it all together. And what do you got? You gotta. That's gonna age me when I sing that. But you put it all together, and that creates the whole. And that whole, the essence of that is within you, because everything begins within. So you are all of that. I don't even know if there's words to explain that, but I know if you're listening to me or watching with me right now, hopefully you can feel that the essence of you is you are everything. That is part of you. You're not separate from that. You're not separate from that. You are part of it. So, yeah, that's where I've gone. That's where my head's gone when I've said, who am I really? And no doubt there would be so much more to come through if you ask me again at another time. But in essence, I guess ultimately we are source experiencing itself. I think that's what it comes down to. And so the experiences that we have are all part of it. And yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? You know? But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this little episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast, this chin wag that we have together. I'm always so grateful that you're here. And if you enjoyed this episode or any episode and you're watching this and can leave a comment, please go ahead and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you're listening to this anywhere you listen to podcasts, please be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And if you're watching this as well, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with anyone you think might enjoy this little chin wag as well. Aside from that, as always, you can catch up with me over at my website at naridamckinnis.com. And if you're not part of my newsletter yet, which I send out every week, which means that you'll never miss a thing, be sure to hit the link in the show notes or in the description, and you will be taken to a page where you can subscribe and be part of my mailing list there. So aside from that, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to catching up with you again next time.